entertainment, theme parks and things like that is big business now because a lot of our jobs are going overseas and stuff. And he invited me over, and we've been friends ever since. And I have a great respect for Rick Watson. He is a very smart man. And no, we're not business partners right now, but that don't mean that we might not be in the future.
Rick, can you tell me how you first, did you go to Dollywood with your family? Can you tell us that story?
You love that story, don't you?
Oh, I do.
I was on vacation and been to see Randy several times, and we went to Dollywood. And I thought he was an incredible performer and still believe the same thing. Love his family, and I might say that I'd like to thank his family. The entire Parton family has been a friend of mine and has stuck by my side through all of this. And I'm just very grateful that I have the relationship with all the Parton family. But while I was there, I tried to get to Randy and was unable to get to him, and I left a business card with one of the people that performed in his stage show. And fortunately, Randy says he gets 20,000 cards a year or contacts.
Quite a few.
She didn't. He came back after lunch and asked her about it, and he looked at the card and was divine intervention is the only thing I know. It was kind of God sent. He called me back, which he normally doesn't do. And from the beginning, it became a relationship of family and friends. And again, I have to reiterate, I think we've created an industry, entertainment industry, that we otherwise, will it work? Well, sure it works. You go to Roanoke Rapids, they're flourishing over there. I just came back a week ago. And does it work? Well, did Myrtle Beach work? Did Branson work? Did Pigeon Forge work? Yeah, it worked, so it'll work here. And I think you're going to see a lot more.
Randy, can you say what you're doing right now? Do you move back to DC?
Yeah, right now I'm unemployed. You got a job for me? Huh? Hey, I've done it all, buddy.
Mr. Baker with Associated Press. We have a question in the back, please, sir, with Associated Press. I'll come back to you with the microphone.
Yeah, Mr. Parton, same similar question. What's your plans for the future? You're not doing anything right now, but what's the plans for the future?
Well, my plans for the future is to get back to work somewhere, somehow. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff in the business, produced shows, records, songwriters, so I'm going to continue on doing that's all I know to do. That's what I do for a living and make a living for my family.
Yes.
And I will land on my feet, believe me.
Lee Weisbecker, Triangle Business Journal. You ever started theater before?
No, I have not. I've worked in many of them. I was not in the theater business. Tell you the truth, I had no desire to be a theater manager. I do what I do, and I do it pretty good. And pardon me?
You were in the entertainment business. You worked in theaters.
Yeah, but if you're working in an industry, you learn quite a bit about it. Not that you do that job, or if not, you're not getting around to see everybody. And I make it a point to drop into offices and everything else. But no, that's not really my forte of being a theater manager. Not that I probably couldn't if that's all I had to do. It's pretty hard to write a show, perform it, and make sure all your people are in place and manage the theater too.
What was the biggest thing you ever managed?
Was what?
Biggest thing you ever managed before this effort?
My family. There's a bunch of them.
Josh Ellis with State Government Radio. At the end of the day, and this is for Rick, at the end of the day, with all things that are going on, who do you place the blame on for the problems that were at the Roanoke Rapids Theater?
You know what? I did what I was supposed to do. I can't comment on that. I'm not going to. I'm not putting the blame on anybody. I just don't think that I want to go there. I don't know what the situation was for them. I worked very hard to contact the people that I needed to get my job done. On them, I don't know how hard they worked, and sometimes maybe their end of it was harder than they thought it would be. I don't know. Do you have something?
I do. I'd like for us all to think about this. I mean, this is an old cliche, but is the glass half full of water or is it half empty? I mean, Roanoke Rapids hadn't failed. That theater is still, I mean, they're working over there. It's making it. Now, the fact that Randy's not associated with it is sad, but it's working. It's not a failed industry. It's working. I'm telling y'all, this is a great opportunity, and I think it's going to prove that to it. So it's not a bad thing that we're in the entertainment industry. It's a bad thing that we didn't appreciate Randy and his family.
But to answer your question back on managing a theater, Dolly don't manage her theaters. Louise Mandrell did not manage her theater. I mean, that's just usually you can only do so much, so do what you do best and let somebody else take care of it, and hopefully they'll take care of your business right.
When they were recruiting you, did they ever ask what you managed?
Yeah, let me have that question I made. I recruited Randy while I'm on vacation, and he was never asked to run a theater. He was never asked to invest money. He was asked three things. Would you come and lend your talent, your family, and your relationship in the entertainment industry to helping build an entertainment venue? That's what he was asked to do. He was never asked to do any more than that. He got stuck with having to do more than that, but he was never asked to do more than that.
Well, sir, let me ask you, if you, we're streaming video, if you want to ask a question, raise your hand, I'll call on you. Please allow this lady to use the microphone, I'll call back on you.
Mr. Parton, I'm
Yeah.
wondering, what upsets you most about the way that things have unraveled at this point? And if you had the chance to go back to Roanoke Rapids, if you had an offer to go back, would you want to?
I don't think I have the answer to that right now. I can't answer that. I mean, I don't want to be somewhere where I'm not wanted and not appreciated and respected for all the hard work that I've done. You know? And if I went back, would I be respected or appreciated? Maybe by some, maybe by a lot, because there's a lot of nice folks there. But it takes everybody.
Jonathan Cox for the Newsroom River again. This is actually back to Rick. Rick, you were apologizing on behalf of the state. Do you work for someone in the state now?
No, I don't. You got a job?
That makes two of us, doesn't it? Create our own.
Okay, Lance.
One more question. I was just wondering what would you attribute the low attendance in the beginning stages of the theater to? Was it not that things were built up around there? What do you think the contributing factors to the low?
That's going to be a big contributor, yes. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, the first few nights, I mean, what is there, 1,500 people or something, the population, and a lot from close enough to drive from Raleigh. And we had nights that we had a lot more people than that. I mean, some of that is just inaccurate, I'm sorry. And then they were nights that we didn't have a lot of people. Nobody told me before I opened that Wednesday night was a church night in Roanoke Rapids, so you best not do nothing. It's either stay home or go to church. But our Wednesday matinees were fabulous. But yes, it would have helped a lot if we had more. But I can't say why there's not more out there right now, and I can't say that the folks that are trying to get it built out there are not doing the best that they can.
Randy, this is for Rick Watson, okay? Rick, you were a government-funded economic developer. And you took
I never considered myself an economic developer.
Well, the Attorney General had a different opinion on that.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Well, okay, whatever position you were in, did you use your position in recruiting Randy for personal, private gain?
No.
You became a member of Moonlight Bandit?
The answer is no.
Okay.
Jim Jenkins from the Newsroom Service, and we'll do one more time for one more coming up on 11:30.
Mr. Parton?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Mine, Jim Jenkins. I'm from Mr. Watson.
Your question
You earlier, yes, it is. Okay. You earlier, following up on what Jonathan said, you earlier apologized on behalf of the state of North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
What are you apologizing for, and what gives you the position to apologize on behalf of the state?
Well, I was born in North Carolina, and I'm a citizen, so I think that gives me a right to speak as a citizen of the state of North Carolina. And I just think that we have handled this very poorly, and it could have been handled in a much nicer and a more professional manner.
And last question to Triangle Business Journal, sir. Are you good to go? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. If you have, Cullen, do you have a follow-up question?
In regards to you, Mr. Watson, because Mr. Parton has certainly taken a lot of the heat of this. Many people see that you were instrumental in making this deal possible. State audit came out and questioned whether there was some conflict of interest since you were working as an economic developer here. What is your, just give us your take on this so we can understand your role and whether you think there was a conflict of interest since you became a business partner with Mr. Parton.
There's two things. One is this is about Randy Parton and his family. We need to keep that to this. If you want to talk to me next week about my relationship and what my thoughts are concerning the state auditor or anything else, I'll be glad to talk to you. First of all, the state auditor was wrong, but we're not going to talk about that today. We'll talk about that next week if you'd like to.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you have additional questions, we'll be passing out a news release with contact information. We'll forward that.